We're good.
Okay. All right, so you've got your ball of clay. What you're going to do, after you've dampened the wheel and you've kind of dried it off with the apron, is you're going to rock this around gently so you have a little point there, all right? And you're going to take that point, you're going to direct it right at the center and throw it down. It's not very on center, but kind of get the idea. That's throwing on the wheel. I just threw this piece of clay onto the wheel. Now I'm going to kind of pat it towards the center just by eyeballing it a little bit. So now you can see it's most of the mass of the clay is generally in the middle. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to seal the edges. I'm going to smear this all the way around because if you get any water underneath it, this is just going to pop off. Okay? So this is going around all the way around just to seal it to the wheel. Okay? Now at this point, you're flying down I-25, the speed limit, right outside of Castle Rock, 75, right? Going as fast as you legally can. Pedal to the floor. All right, and I'm going to moisten this. Sorry. You all right?
I did get wet.
Okay, good. So I've got this really, really wet, and I've also got my hands wet, okay? Now here's where some body mechanics come in. It does not matter how strong you are. I've got a friend who weighs like 110 pounds, and he can throw pots like this big, okay? He's not physically strong, but it's about technique and body mechanics. So what I want to do is I want to take my elbow and rest it right in my hip here, okay? Right in like where it just can't go any further, okay? Because if I'm doing this with my fingers and my elbows are loose, like if you push on your fingers here, there's not a lot of like strength here, right? But if you're pushing here back into your body, like nothing's happening. It's not going anywhere, all right? So I'm going to lean in here. Watch how close I get. Scoot the stool pretty close. And I'm going to lean in straight up. And if you look at the clock here, I'm coming up at 6 o'clock. See here, it's 12, 3, 6, and 9. This is going to be up at 3 o'clock with my left hand, okay? My right hand, I'm going to rest my elbow kind of like right above my knee here, and I'm going to make a blade, and pressure is going to come out of this part right here. If you push here, your hand bends. If you push here, it's like still part of your hand, but it's not really going anywhere, right? And also see how close my face is to this, okay? This is going to rest on top and press down. Well, this one sort of receives pressure. This one's going to press in. Well, this one sort of receives pressure, and they work together. And you want to cone up by leaning in. Lean in with this left hand, and really with my whole body weight, right? And my right hand is going to cone down. And you want to cone it up and cone it down a handful of times, probably about 3 times ideally. Sometimes the clay might need it a little bit more, a little bit less. And if I cone up with just my left hand, a volcano is being formed. It's got this little divot at the top, okay? That's bad. If I cone down with just my right hand, a mushroom top is being formed. That's also bad, okay? Both of that creates weakness in the clay. So, as I'm pushing up, my right hand is just really kind of resting here, receiving the pressure, keeping the top flat, preventing that volcano, right? And I push up, and I go back down to the bottom, and I'm leaning in, right? And my right hand just kind of chills there. Then I'm going to cone it down. Right hand's going to press down, but really it's my body weight, right? Pressing down, and the left hand is receiving this mushroom top, sort of guiding it down so that it is not a mushroom top. Okay? So, I've coned it up and down about 3 times. I've got what is a low dome. This is effectively what you're shooting for. If I try to do this with my elbows not on and there's a wobble in it, look where my elbow's going. See how this is going here and it's magnifying and it's getting even more crazy? Where if my elbow is locked in, look how this little piece of clay isn't going to move my whole body. If I try to touch it with my fingers, oh, I don't stand a chance, right? If I lean out with my body, it's not going anywhere, okay? So cone up, preventing that volcano with the right hand. Come back down, cone up even more. Sometimes you got to add water. You're going to have to get used to the consistency of the clay. If the clay is really, really mucky, you probably don't need to add water. You might need even like to wedge it a bit before you bring it over here. If the clay is really dry, you're probably going to be adding water to it quite a bit. This clay is fresh from the pug mill and it's very nice. So cone up, cone down, and that's centering, okay? And cut.